Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fright Me Bro Betting Show. I am your host, Matt, joined with you today, Nick, as usual. Today, we are going to be breaking down UFC Brasilia, or do you have any Bellator picks? Oh, no, they canceled Bellator.
I think they did. I would also like to be, for Jesus Christ, I can't even talk, so maybe I don't, maybe I'm not clean. But I want it to be on the record, this is a Corona-free podcast.
Yeah.
Not Corona beers. Yeah, not Corona beers free, but we are so far coronavirus free, and so we will be quarantined until, well, kind of, except for maybe
it's like tomorrow because it's the St. Patrick's Day weekend, and so like, come on, we're not gonna not go out for St. Patrick's Day. It's it's a pandemic, but still, there's only at what cost? There's only so many St. Patrick's Day a year. You know,
I was gonna say, man, Look, it's put up or shut up time tomorrow for the alcoholics. It's going to be real telling. If you fashion yourself a drinker, it's nut up or shut up time. And I also will say this. Tomorrow, coronavirus, this is all totally unrelated to fighting. Coronavirus being around the time of St. Patrick's Day is only assuring me that this is going to... Like, next week, coronavirus is going to be 600 times worse than it was in this past week, in the United States at least. Because I know so many people that are saying, well, I'm really glad I don't have to go to work and all. Most workplaces in Chicago, I don't know where all of you are basically telling people to go home, don't take public transit, blah, blah, blah. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, no, it's really good, and I'm going to the store and stocking up on supplies. And then when you ask, oh, so you're staying in on Saturday? And it's St. Patrick's Day. So it's basically just like everyone's going to go out and be in public anyway, and about 1 billion people are going to get coronavirus.
It's everyone's, I feel like, last hurrah for drinking before, like, being able to shut it down. So hopefully we don't spread it too much. Actually, I really wish this card would be next weekend, because I'm probably not going to go out next weekend, because what I assume to have been a bad card actually is sneaky kind of good. There's a lot of matchups that I care about. I think Nick only has 2 bets. I have, let's take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll get right to business. I'm starting off right from early in the card. The Jussier Formiga versus Brandon Moreno. My thought process for this fight is when it rains, it pours. And so for Joseph Benavidez, it is about to pour. And Formiga is going to win and then get a title shot with Deiveson Figueiredo, because he's already got a win over Deiveson Figueiredo. And so
that would be true.
Joseph Benavidez is going to get back in line. Right now, we're all talking about the rematch. It just, we need to learn in the UFC, good things do not happen to good people. It happens to the people that you don't want it to happen to. So I think Formiga is going to cruise here at minus 155. I also think Brandon Moreno has been looking better, but I think Formiga actually might... There's a chance that he's the best person in the division right now. I don't know. There is a chance. Well, at least I think if he wins this fight, I think he's got a solid chance of beating Figueiredo again. So I like him at minus 155. Next up for me, I'm going Francisco Trinaldo over John Makdessi, mostly because last weekend we got robbed of a old jack dude with a ridiculous body getting the W, so I don't think we're going to sneak through 2 weeks of that. And also, John Makdessi's no spring chicken himself. He's like 36.
He's pretty fucking good, though. I would have went the other way on that one. But
I think in this case, Trinaldo is going to be able to, like, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like Makdessi doesn't do that well against overly physical people, and that's basically all Trinaldo has going for him. And even though he's got, like, I think Trinaldo's 5 years older than him, we're looking biologically, he is the younger, more athletic, more juiced out fighter.
Biology's on the street nowadays, too.
Exactly. So then I'll let you get to your first pick, and then I'll fire off a couple more.
Okay, I'm just going to take Damian Maia, as I don't know why he's an underdog to Gilbert Burns. I understand that they're like the same person, but there is nothing impressive about Gilbert Burns striking in the way that it needs to be to basically consider it a shoo-in that he's going to knock out Damian Maia. And Gilbert Burns saying that he's going to submit Damian Maia, that's probably not going to happen. That's like me saying that no one's going to get coronavirus tomorrow on St. Patrick's Day. Like, about 200,000 people are going to get coronavirus tomorrow. So I don't even understand why this is a thing. I'm just going to go based on Damian Maia via more cardio and just being the savvy old guy. I think this is going to be the first in a string of about 4 to 5 fights that Damian Maia is going to be a very live betting underdog. while he finishes up his career. They're going to feed him to random people, and he's just so goddamn fucking good at jiu-jitsu. Not that I think it's going to be a huge factor in this fight, because Gilbert Burns, no slouch on the mat, for sure. But I never have been impressed with Gilbert Burns' cardio. Love that the guy is always big reckless and also takes a fight or some grappling match or something about every 62 hours. That said, I'm thinking Damian Maia wins this one on smarts, and I do think that Damian Maia has a striking game that is more built to just outpoint somebody, which is very well what this might come down to.
Okay, interesting. Might disagree on that. But next pick for me comes in the Nikita Krylov versus Johnny Walker fight, which is going to be hilarious. I feel like both of these fighters are just...
for all 30 seconds and it lasts.
Well, I don't know about that. I'm going with Nikita Krylov here because I think he's only been finished one time in his very first UFC fight, and then everything else has either been sub or decision. And I don't think Johnny Walker even knows how to do a submission, so if he can weather the storm and not get knocked out by Johnny Walker, I think he's able to win it out here. Because I think Johnny Walker is going to try to knock him out in the first round, gas the fuck out. I just cannot see a world where Johnny Walker wins a decision, so if that says anything, you might want to put a little cash on Johnny Walker by decision. So I'm going with Nikita Krylov here. Another one, I don't know if I've ever won a bet on Nikita Krylov. I picked the wrong way every time, but this time I'm actually feeling kind of confident about it. And then my last one for the lock is going to be Renato Moicano versus, I don't know how to pronounce this guy's fucking name. I just know that Renato Moicano, very good, and he's fought a lot of very good competition. I think this is, especially with the line being minus 350, I don't think he shot. I think he just needs to see the ball go in.
Sucks.
Yeah, exactly. I don't necessarily think this other guy. How do you even pronounce his name?
I don't know either, man. If we're being totally honest.
Yeah,
I literally just looked at the lines. I didn't see them. Renato Moicano was even fighting.
Oh shit! And I think didn't he get last time he fought in Brazil? I think he got knocked out.
Oh yeah,
which is not good. Yeah, there it was. So I think this is a big time. They're setting this up as his comeback, and I think he's moving up a weight class too, which I don't know, could be a little scary, but I really like him here. So Moicano, because I'm just a fan of Moicano. I thought he was when he was having that streak there, I'm like, this is the next guy. This is the next guy in line. He's gonna be the one competing, and then didn't work.
7 other guys jumped in front of him.
Yes. So then he did the smart thing, just got the fuck out of Dodge, and now he's gonna start the new run. It starts here. I like it a lot. Pretty heavy though.
All right, lock of the week time. We're going all the way to the main event.
This will be interesting.
We have got coronavirus ridding people of their fucking bodily functions. People are dying. People aren't coming in on weight. They could be sick. Kevin Lee's overweight by 2.5 pounds. We thought that this fight wasn't going to go through. This is a terrible stylistic matchup from my boy Kevin Lee. And I had to take a peep at the stats before I really cemented this pick in. And that is why Kevin Lee is going to be my lock of the week. Wow. I had to trace back to the last time that my guy showed up overweight, which was when another matchup, people thought he was going to be on his way out. People thought Edson Barbosa was going to kick his fucking legs off. And Kevin Lee put on the performance of a lifetime. So as it turns out, when Kevin Lee completely disregards the rules, he actually is pretty good at fighting. So I think a Kevin Lee with the newfound Faraz Sahabi coaching strategy, as well as a Kevin Lee that just doesn't force himself to go through a weight cut, it sounds like a winning recipe to me. Real bad idea by Dubronx taking this fight, even though he is what I would consider probably the worst stylistic matchup for Kevin Lee. Yeah. In that, Kevin Lee knocked out Gregor Gillespie, but Dubronx has got he is polishing up the Muay Thai, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
So he is nice and dangerous on the feet. Kevin Lee, easy advantage in the wrestling. And Kevin Lee has been submitted before, and Dubronx submits a lot of people. I don't really know how this is going to work out for me exactly, but what I do know is Kevin Lee, as long as he doesn't have staph again where he's going to completely die out, him ignoring the weight cutting thing just tells me that when he wants to, he should be able to just athlete out of some shit. Doesn't really seem to make sense against a guy like Dubronx, who's as good as he is. But I'm buying into the Kevin Lee Faraz Sahabi program. Kevin Lee's always had the potential, and he KO'd Gregor Gillespie. I know that I'm getting on the nut riding bandwagon a little too much, probably overstepping my boundaries just a bit. But I think I'm going to ride the Kevin Lee train against these not guys named Gaethje, Ferguson, Khabib for a little bit longer before I get into the, all right, we got to start making some picks, especially when the line's minus 140. Who fucking cares, man? That's tight. Take that money. Right? Just take it. Either one of these guys. I don't really think you can go wrong with either one of these guys necessarily, but I'm taking Kevin Lee with souped up game plan, Kevin Lee with turbocharged cardio via not having to cut weight and get tired, Kevin Lee via the new Faraz Sahabi game plan, and just being an overall better athlete. I think we're rocking. I know we're rocking Kevin Lee. Oh, and also Kevin Lee sometimes overhypes himself too much. Gets a little. He steps over his boundary a little bit. Gets a little out of his shoes. That's not going to happen here because there's no fucking fans in the arena.
Yeah. True. But I feel like Kevin Lee's the type of guy that like fights to the moment. You know, like I would want
too much.
True. Like when he got jacked up way too much for Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you went with Kevin Lee out of fanship. I just took this off my card because I did not want to bet Kevin Lee because I actually do like Charles Oliveira here just because, like you said, it's a bad matchup. Don't get me wrong, I definitely think the Faraz thing is good for Kevin Lee. I don't necessarily know how good it is for this fight specifically because I have a sneaky feeling that Kevin Lee, with too much of a game plan and thinking, I don't want to get submitted, and him trying to be like too coachable, like, oh, we're going to try to beat him elsewhere. I almost feel like Kevin Lee, the reckless Kevin Lee, where it's like, I'm just going to go out there, I'm going to take him down and not really give a fuck. That would do better in this fight. So I'm a little bit scared he's going to be like, all right, I'm going to be watching for the sub and not really getting into that game. And a lot, because Charles Oliveira is just good when he's being a bully. And if Kevin Lee isn't wrestling him, I have a feeling he's going to be able to be that bully on the feet. And then I would rather Kevin Lee take him down and then get submitted than him. Like, I like those chances better than him just going out there and looking to avoid the submission. But kept it off my card, but I don't know, still leaning toward Oliveira. Might place that on the night of. As far as my lock of the week, me and you are completely opposite on like everything this card. I'm going Gilbert Burns here. I love Gilbert Burns at minus 170 here. I think once he's moved up to 170, he's looked significantly better. I will say, Damian Maia, his kickboxing has looked a little bit better, although it is kind of easy to look good when you're going against Ben Askren, who is god-awful at his stand-up game. But, I mean, Damian Maia's on a 3-fight win streak. The Tony Martin fight, I feel like Damian Maia has had a lot of success with people that he's able to take down and do his jiu-jitsu against. Shocker. Gilbert Burns, although he's not winning all of these jiu-jitsu matches, is actually kind of losing a lot of his jiu-jitsu matches. I still think he's been staying so active on the competitive jiu-jitsu scene that it's going to neutralize Damian Maia's like attempts. Like, it's not going to be I don't think we have to worry too much about Gilbert Burns being just grapple fucked the entire time. And I don't know, Damian Maia has seemed like you said, he used to have really good cardio. I think the age is finally starting to catch up to him, and I have a feeling that this is going to be a passing of the torch from one jiu-jitsu guy in the community, because Durinho is Brazilian too, right?
Yeah.
I assume with the Durinho last name. This is kind of like a passing of a torch. It's either going to be one or the other. Obviously, that's the two storylines that the UFC wants. Oh, this is going to be Damian Maia in front of his fans, kind of one of his, I don't know how many more fights he has on his contract, but it can't be that much more. But what I think the more likely scenario is what they want is to take all those Damian Maia fans and be like, you know what, we have a lot more respect for Durinho. So I like him here. Lock of the week, minus 170. I was debating going with the TKO line as well, but like you said, I still think Gilbert Burns' striking is not there yet, but he's got a little bit more pop. He's got a little bit more strength in those legs.
I don't talking about yet. Like, Gilbert Burns is old, dude. He is not like 25.
He's at least 30. But he's a lot younger than fucking Damian Maia.
Yeah, but you're talking about him like he's a prospect.
No, I'm not talking about now that he's moved up to 170. I'm saying he's got. I feel like
this dude is gonna look sloppy in round 3, bro. End of story.
Well, I mean, so is Damian Maia. He's fucking 45 years old, so
he's looked relatively okay cardio-wise for the last umpteen fights that he's had.
Not all that matters. The last couple. I think in the Ben Askren fight, if it wasn't against Ben Askren, it could have gotten ugly. But we'll see how the picks turn out tomorrow. I'm invested in this card now. I'm probably gonna end up betting this while I'm at the bar. So we'll see how crazy we get with these bets. Like always, tweet us out your picks at Below the Belt MMA. You can find me at Broliva. You can find Nick at _a guy and a geek. So until next week, peace out.